hapon. Ay, umaga. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. Mayong buntag. Maupay nga aga hiyong atanan. Marahay na aldaw. Aga. Okay. So, how was the first day? Ang galing. Kagabi, I was informed about 11 o'clock kagabi. I was surfing. I was informed that sa Twitter and Facebook, we were trending. Natalo natin yung PIDOL. Natalo natin yung, ano ba yung ano ngayon, kahapon, yung Yung AP? Ano pa isa? There were 3 na events. We were on top sa trending. Thanks to you. Alam ko naman, galing sa inyo rin eh. Because we are about 400 plus here. Siguro kalahati sa inyo may mga laptop. Siguro you were texting. As early as 9 o'clock, we were already at the Philippine Daily Inquirer. May balita na tayo doon. They were talking about Archbishop Tagle. He was quoted ng Philippine Daily Inquirer about ang kanyang sinabi tungkol sa spelling, yung Trinity, yun ang pinalaki ng Philippine Daily Inquirer. Tapos sa Philippine Star naman, even in the hard copy today, they are talking about Archbishop Tagle din. But then it was about games na magawa ng games. But nandoon yun, it was social media. So maraming salamat. I have to start this session, meron po akong invite na mga sharers. Ang isa po doon, artista. Ang pangalawa, video missionary. Ang pangatlo, hindi ko ano kayang attribute ng pangatlo? Yung pangatlo. So I will ask them to come over, do a sharing, because the topic for this morning is winning the world through the Word. Winning the world through the Word. And what is better there to present to you than concrete example of people who are trying their best to win the world through the Word. Yun po yun. We are gathering, ginawa natin itong social media summit, not for any other reason. I think the reason why we came up with this idea is about the new evangelization. It's coming. By October this year, there will be a synod on the new evangelization. And I think this is the reason why. I don't think although the Porta Fide is talking about proclaiming the Word of God with the new impetus, I think today the new impetus is right bullseye in the social media, in social network. I don't think we can ever talk about the new evangelization without talking about this. Kaya po ganito po yun. And I think while the new evangelization is going to go through in the years to come, gagawin po natin ang social media taon-taon. Would you like that? Salamat sa Diyos. Probably we can triple the number by 2013 because by then we will start the 9 years of pilgrimage towards the 500 years of Philippine evangelization. Okay. The first sharer, sabi kong artista eh. Siya po yung 2010 Best Actor Awardee ng MTRC. Guess who? Would you know the name? Yan. So, kilala. Di ko na kailangan basahin pa yung kanyang mga ano dito. Ang dami eh. So, good morning. We have Alfred Vargas.
Thank you very much, Monsi. Good morning, everyone. We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, and service to humanity is the best work of life. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I'm so honored to be invited here to the first Catholic Social Media Summit. And I expect that that there will be a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, until kahit maging 100 na ito. I am honored to be here today in front of you guys. Thank you very much. First, I would like to greet Bishop Joel Bailon of CBCP Commission on Youth. Bishop, I met him upstairs a while ago. And the one who introduced me a while ago, Monsignor Pepe Quitorio, CBCP Media. Monsi. And I would like to say special thanks to Clark Nebrao and Sky Ortigas. And of course, everyone from Youth Pinoy. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I am Alfred Vargas. To some, I am Akil. To some, I am Erebus. To some, I am Principe Irvin. And to some, I am Carlo, the doctor of Lorenzo, of Enzo. So I hope you guys... but I am, today I'll be simply Alfred. I am Alfred Vargas. I'm also a city councilor in Quezon City. And my professions, being an actor and being a politician, require for you to stick by your principles very strongly. Ang ibig ko pong sabihin, dito po sa aking mga pinasok na trabaho, kinakailangan matigas ka, kailangan malakas ka, at most importantly, kailangan talagang matibay ang iyong paniniwala sa Panginoon. So, just three things. First, let me tell you a story. Nung ako po ay nagsisimula pa lamang, at itong naging artista na ako, napakahilig ko rin sa internet. Napakahilig kong gumamit ng mga naalala ko, nung pauso pa lang ang Facebook, ginamit ko pa yung panligaw sa mga sa crush ko. And Facebook pa lang noon, sabi ko, Facebook ka naman, bet tayo mag-Facebook. Friendster ka naman, bet ko mag-Friendster ka rin. Until nauso na yung Facebook, until yung Twitter. So I was surprised, one time, I was in front of my computer, bigla nakita ko, nagte-trending pala ako. So for hindi ko na sasabihin yung reason, pero nagulat ako because grabe yung animosity, grabe yung mga hinihirit, at grabe yung mga sinasabi, especially about me. At that time, that was years ago. And I was really shocked. And to be a recipient of those bashing, of those bullying, talagang it's really hard to accept, and nakakasira talaga siya ng loob. So, nagtaka ako, bakit ba ganito? So now, nababalitaan natin, especially with Twitter and Facebook, napakadaming nag-aaway ng mga artista. Napakadami din nag-aaway ng mga tao. And there was this incident na yung mga high school students or elementary students nang bubuli, and one student nag-portray siya na parang babae siya, tapos niloko niya yung kaklase niya, tapos he asked, kasi parang naging crush siya, cyber crush siya nung so sinabi niya, pwede ba mag-take ka naman ng picture mo na medyo can you take a picture of yourself so that I can see it? So he took a picture, medyo naghubad siya doon, tapos ginawa niya yung picture na yon for blackmail. At the end of the day, he asked the person, pahingi naman ako ng 15,000 pesos kung hindi ilalabas ko to sa internet. So, iwan mo yung 15,000 pesos doon sa isang notebook, tapos doon sa may trash can, itabi mo yun doon. Tapos ganoon ang ginawa. So, the other guy, nagsumbong sa parents, nagsumbong sa NBI, so sinet up nila yung 15,000 pesos, eventually nahuli, and the NBI was shocked to find out that this quote-unquote beautiful girl turned out to be his classmate. So napakaraming mga nangyayari dito, and napakaraming malalakas ang loob that you wouldn't encounter in a real person-to-person basis. So this led me to asking this question. Bakit ba ang lalakas ng loob nating lahat pagdating sa internet? Bakit ba ganun-ganun na lang ang pagtrato natin sa ibang tao pagdating sa internet? Bakit ba pagdating sa internet nakakalimutan natin kung sino ba talaga tayo? And siguro, I was able to arrive at an answer. This answer can be not correct. This answer, you may agree with this answer, you may disagree with this answer, but I think this is just a simple explanation. Number one, it is because in the internet, wala tayong identity. Ako, kunwari Alfred, pwede kong pangalanan ng sarili ko na Michael. Pwede kong pangalanan ng sarili ko na iba, Ryan. Yung ordinary person, pwede niyang pangalan sa kanya, Pretty, Pretty Boy, Pogwaps, Stud, Stud1, Babe. We can be anyone in the internet. And that is why napakatapang nating lahat because we don't have the responsibility to our words. We don't have responsibility sa mga binibitawan nating mga salita. Everybody knows this. Pag mag-ano ka sa internet, kahit ano, pwede nilang sabihin. Pwede ka nila murahin, pwede ka nila ganituhin, pwede ka nila ganyanin. But it is because we treat the internet as if we take advantage of it para makapag-disguise tayo and pretend that we're not the persons we really are. I believe na kung yung internet, lagyan natin ng identity yung sarili natin, let Alfred be Alfred, I believe we will be acting more civilly and we will be acting more of a Christian. Kasi when we type the words in the internet, we tend to forget who we really are. We tend to forget na, teka lang, yung basic principles ko, hindi ko naman pala kailangan i-apply dito kasi wala namang makakalam. So let us remember that every time we strike a key doon sa keyboard, every time we converse in the internet, whether you're using your name or not, let us remember to be responsible and let us remember who we really are. And let us think na kung yung bang sasabihin ko rito, sasabihin ko talaga sa totoong conversation, sa totoong personal conversation, yung bang mga sasabihin ko rito, makaka-apekto sa ibang tao. In this day and age na lahat pwede nang gawing burol, ligaw, shopping, everything, delivery, lahat, ang dami, lahat ng pwedeng gawin. In history, we have never been so progressive as we are today in terms of technology. But in history, never have we needed to adhere to the basic principles that the Catholic Church has given us or has taught us throughout the years. Never had we needed to adhere to it as much as we needed today. Sa panahon ngayon na ang technology, nandiyan na lahat, everything is available, pinakakinakailangan nating mas maniwala sa ating pananampalataya at pinakakinakailangan nating pagtibayin ang lahat ng mga tinuro sa atin simula nung tayo'y mga bata pa. The more that we need, the more technology that we have today, the more that we need to love, the more that we need to respect, the more that we need to trust, the more that we need to be of service, the more that we need to help others. It's ironic dahil buhay natin ngayon, mas dumadali. Pero habang mas dumadali, mas nakakalimutan natin yung mga basic principles. So let me share to you what I usually say to the people who look for employment, for example. Ang daming magagaling sa computers, especially with the TESDA graduates. Ang daming nag-a-apply. But everyone's asking, bakit ganon? Ang dami naming magagaling, pero konti lang yung kinukuha sa amin. And what I usually tell them is that Sa panahon ngayon, whether government ang pinupuntahan mo or private sector, napakarami ng magagaling. So what do you do to stand out? What do you do para mapansin, and what do you do para tumagal sa trabaho? What we lack nowadays are people with integrity. People whom you can trust. Hindi ka lang dapat magaling. Kailangan ikaw ay maaasahan at ikaw ay mapagkakatiwalaan. And I believe, dapat i-apply din natin ito in every dealing, or every communication that we have in the internet. So let me take this advantage, this first Catholic Social Media Summit, to invite you to be the guardians, of the social media. Sana tayo ang magsimula ng responsible tayo magsimula ng social media responsibility. Tayo magsimula ng social media integrity. Tayo ang mag-safeguard ng mga ito. Especially sa panahon ngayon, everything can be expressed here. Everything can be expressed in social media. So instead of using this in bashing others, instead of using this in other unnecessary means, let us use social media in a way na mas ma-uplift natin in a way that we can spread the glory of God, and in a way that we can communicate better to express our true feelings, and in a way that we can really express our true selves, and not pretty boy, not pretty, not pogwaps, not pare ko 1, pare ko 2, and whatever. Let us always remember na kung sino tayong nagtatype doon sa keyboard na yon, kung sino yung kaharap ng computer na yon, ikaw ang tao na yon. And I believe that kung panindigan natin yon, the social media will be a more peaceful venue in exchanging ideas and spreading the word of God. So once again, I will reiterate that we believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, and service to humanity is the best work of life. And I hope this first Catholic Social Media Summit, talagang mas dumami pa tayo, and I encourage everyone na sana mas dumami pa, and sana all over the Philippines patulalo, so that bawat Pilipino ay matututo kung paano maging isang Kristiyano sa loob ng social media. I'm your counselor, Alfred Vargas. Thank you very much, and good morning to everyone. God bless us all po.
Thank you very much, Alfred. Ang lalim. Alfred, pwede ka magpare. Thank you. You have given flesh to what Father Stephen said yesterday, and Archbishop Tagle, yung sinabi nila kahapon, binigyan mo ng laman ngayon. And of course, what Carlos said yesterday, the concrete translation of the concepts that we listened to yesterday. Thank you very much, Alfred. May you win the word through the world. And may you win politics. He was telling me kanina, you know what? The church should be more active in politics. Are we? We are not. The church is talking about total, integral evangelization. Isa yun doon. We should be more active. We will listen to you. Okay, so I have 3 sharers and I have 6 ideas, just 6 ideas for this talk. The first idea, da-dan, nawala. The first idea is about this. Number 1, social media is not about technology. It is about content. It is about content. Although social media is technology-driven, it is about content. We have to thank technology for bringing us to that level, but this is how it is. That's why the very crucial thing is what content are you delivering? If you don't have any content, you will deliver. There is one woman, the wife, the First Lady of the United States, the wife of Roosevelt. The name is Eleanor. You don't know her, of course. But she said one thing like this, very famous. She said, great people discuss ideas. Average people discuss events. Simple minds discuss people. That is very telling. Very telling. With that, you will know the content you are delivering in social media. In your blogs, in your Facebook, in your Twitter, and so on and so forth. You have the control. This social media was able to give us, to lower down, to democratize content. Dati, ang content para lang sa mga pare at mga madre. O di kaya para lang sa mga broadcasters. O di kaya para lang sa mga artista. Ngayon, we have democratized it. Journalism, if you may, had been democratized by social media. This is the time, this is the generation when everybody is a journalist. Everybody is a journalist. Being that, you have the control. You have the control. You can choose to be this or that. You can choose to deliver a message, a context that will build or destroy. Sinabi kanina, the experience of how content destroys. Sabi ni Alfred, that experience, nakakaiyak, di ba? Nakakaiyak. You can do that. You can choose to be that. You can promote life or destroy it. You know what? I had the experience of napuyat ako the whole night. Natulog ako. I went to bed alas 4 because I was trying to neutralize yung mga tweets, mga Facebook attacks against the bishops and against the Catholic Church and against the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines. Grabe. Grabe. What you see in the normal media, what you see on radio, what you hear on radio, or what you see on TV, what you see in normal discussion is not like this sa makikita mong unutterable words doon sa social media. I have seen it, I have felt it, nakita ko with my own very eyes. They were calling one bishop a word that cannot even be pronounced. Nakakaiyak, as in nakakaiyak. Grabe. You can choose to promote life or destroy it. Ang dami ngayon ng mga gustong sirain ang buhay. I have discovered that the reason why a lot of people are hating the Catholic Church today, it's not because they want to hate the Catholic Church. It is because we are teaching about life. That is the only reason why. And the more we teach about life, or we object to the reproductive health bill, expect a lot of it. And in fact, persecutions. That will be the point. We need, the church need you. We need people, concrete people, who will deliver the right content. And I'm very sure there are so many of us already. I will give you one example. There is an example of people who wala silang consideration sa kung anong oras, anong walang pera, but they have been running for the last 2-3 years in the Philippines. And the group they call themselves 1 Billion Stories. Have you seen that? Have you heard about it? 1 Billion Stories? Andito, konkreto. David Panlilio.
Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever. My name is David Panlilio, and I'm a video missionary. So, please allow me to share with you my story. So last year, during during World Youth Day in Madrid, Spain, I got to meet a man named Seth Demore and his group, and they're called Video Missionaries. And next page, he was strongly driven by this quote of Pope Benedict XVI, and as it says, it falls in particular to young people who have an almost spontaneous affinity for the new means of communication to take on the responsibility for the evangelization of this digital continent. So it was during the World Communications Day in 2009. And I'd like to introduce to you our website. Next, please. It's called 1billionstories.com. Why is it called 1 billion stories? Because there are 1 billion Catholics in the entire world, well, 1.2 billion to be exact, and each has a story to tell. So, next, please. So this is our website. As you can see, one of the stories that the Philippines has shown is Jesus in the Eucharist and my uncle, the exorcist. So as you can see, it's Father Siquia, the exorcist of the Archdiocese of Manila, and his, nephew. So I'd like to share with you the statistics of our website. So we at least get 1,000 hits a day, and we are currently 6 video missionaries around the globe. Brazil, Ireland, England, Argentina, Philippines, and Tanzania. So I volunteered to bring 1 billion stories to the Philippines, and currently we are 20 in our team. And why have I brought it to the Philippines? Well, I wanted to find an avenue from the World Youth Days that I've attended where I could, kung saan ko ma-express yung fire na nakukuha ko. Tapos, yun. At kung saan rin natin pwede iwagayway ang bandera ng Pilipinas. So, next, please. So this is the Philippines page. So we currently have 7 videos, but 8 to be exact, because as you can see there, one of my personal stories where I was interviewed in Madrid will be shown there. But so one of the stories that we've already featured was if you're familiar with him, the cooking priest, Father Leo Patalinghog. And one of the stories also is Media and Spiritual Warfare with Father Domi de Guzman. And we also feature like MTV types of sacred music, but with the background like the Feast of the Black Nazarene, the Relic of the True Cross in Tarlac, and personal videos. So we've just started around 6 months ago, and it took 6 months for us to get to this point. So next. So this is, if you go to the to the opening video, so this is our slogan: welcome to the 7,107 Islands of Faith. So, and I'd like to show you guys one of the videos where we were featured on Rome Reports on EWTN. So please play the video.
Right after finishing college on January 3rd, 2010, Seth Demore took on a special type of journey. He rode his bicycle from Florida to Colorado with one goal in mind: to evangelize. In fact, he decided to record the experience on video, which included hearing testimonies of Catholics who talked about why Jesus and the Catholic Church are a key part of their lives. For 3 months, Damore traveled more than 1,800 miles equipped with only his bicycle, clothes, camping equipment, and a video camera. Thanks to people's hospitality, he only stayed in a sleeping tent for 7 nights. The other 94, he was welcomed by strangers. And along the way, he met hundreds of people who shared their stories, everything from their conversion to their vocation. He talked to several people about God. Among them was an elderly Palestinian woman who now lives in the U.S. She left her country after being persecuted for her Christian beliefs. In addition to Catholics, he also recorded the conversations he had with Buddhists, Protestants, and even atheists who converted to Catholicism. In time, Damore began receiving videos from all over the world, with personal testimonies which he then posted on a website called 1 Billion Stories.
So, yun nga, we already guested in Salitang Buhay with Ate Ilsa Reyes and TV5 and their morning show. And the miracle with this is, wala kaming puhunan na sinimulan dito. It was all amore et labore, a labor of love. So, lahat to out of our pockets. So if we can do this, I'd like to give the challenge to you. And next, please. If you're interested, so here's my email, david@1billionstories.com. We have a Facebook page, 1billionstories.com, Twitter, 1billionstories.com, and Pinterest, 1billionstories.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. See? Nice. Very inspiring. You can do that. Let's all do it. In 1997, we had this National Mission Congress. They were trying to say that evangelization is telling God's stories. This is it. Evangelization has taken on several forms. If only all of us here can retell God's stories in concrete situations, translating the scriptures into our lives concretely, and putting them in social media. What a great world church this will be. My second point is this. My second point is this. You need to spot the difference between social media and Catholic social media. Social media and Catholic social media. Is there a difference? If there is no difference, let's make one. Because there should be. In journalism, we have been giving training seminars on Catholic journalism because there is a big difference between journalism and Catholic journalism. Napaka-crucial yung difference. In journalism, we define the truth differently than how we define in Catholic journalism. Crucial kasi sa journalism yung truth. Journalism is about how to tell the truth. Kung magkaiba ang perspective ng Catholic sa truth, then so it is in social media. Spot the difference. If you can spot the difference, you're on. You're on. The Catholic social media is the platform, the new platform for proclaiming the gospel. Doon sa video kahapon, si Bishop Bailon sinabi niya, the new Areopagos. Sabi din ng Holy Father John Paul II yon. The new platform for evangelization. If your new media, as a professor, as a student, as a parish worker, as a member of an organization, of a faith community, is not a platform for proclaiming the gospel, then your media, your social media is not Catholic. I'm sorry. Call it something else. It is not Catholic. Because this will be the primary characterization, primary distinction between social media and Catholic social media. Kasi sinabi natin to, the first Catholic. I would like you to underline the word Catholic. Second, on that note, Catholic social media just like any journalism, has a bias. There need to be a bias. Hindi pwedeng objective. Sorry. It has to have a bias. And the bias is, the Catholic social media should have a bias for truth. It should have a bias for justice. And it should have a bias for life. If there is none like of these three, then your social media is full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Just like Shakespeare said, it has to have a bias. The success or failure of a Catholic social media evangelist is not measured by the number of hits or likes or shares. No, it's not. It is measured by your fidelity to the gospel. Iisa lamang ang measurement. Iisa lamang. If you're not faithful to the gospel, then that is not social media. Excuse me. It is not. It is something else. If you are a madre and you are not faithful to the gospel, walang ganon, sister, ba? Walang ganyan. Walang ganyan. If you are a priest na hindi faithful to the gospel, we are kind of joking, but this is real. There are priests who are not. You know what? There are priests who are pushing the RH bill. Do you know that? Nakakaiyak. Nakaka-discourage. Para gusto ko nang bumaba. Third, the Catholic social media has a mission. It has to have a mission. I know we have been running our social media on the personal perspective or framework. Lahat tayo, personal perspective. Nasa personal environment. It has to graduate. Come on. You are not kids. It has to graduate. Kinakailangan mag-transcend. You have to have a mission. And there are two missions. One is proximate, the other is transcendent. Ang lalim naman nun. Simply put, it has to help society. That's the proximate. And I might be very traditional, but I would like to use this word. The transcendent is, it has got to be in pursuit. Very traditional eh. The word is salvation of souls. Pero however you call it, it's still the same. Still the same. It has got to be directed towards that. You can be progressive, but the truth and reality is still the same. In social transformation, it has to be that. In 2002, Facebook was not so famous yet, but then in Colombia, Colombia had a social upheaval. When they had this, they call it Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, or FARC, F-A-R-C. Have you heard about it? It was Facebook who initiated that revolution. Google it and you know what I mean. In 2010, the Arab Spring was actually provoked by social media, by Facebook. It was provoked by Facebook. They were running along that line. If they can do it for politics, why can't we for evangelization? Come on. Why not? Sinabi kahapon ni Carlo, kung ginagawa ito ng businessman, kung ginagawa ni Lady Gaga or Gago, whoever he is, why can't we do it in the church? Why can't we do it in catechesis? If these people are using that effort and strength and resources for those, why not for catechesis? Why not? Natutulog tayo eh. The Catholic Church is a sleeping giant. It's a giant, but it's sleeping. There are a lot of stories, very inspiring. Very inspiring. Catholic, this is the time, this is the generation that we need to use the word Catholic. Dati, kasi madalas tayo sa ecumenism, interreligious dialogue, wag natin gamitin yung word na Catholic para, kinakain ka na pala. This time, put the word Catholic. In 2010, we had a group of young people initiated by Bishop Bailon. Andito siya. Bishop Bailon looks young, but he really is not. Andito siya. He initiated a group of young people who would promote the social teachings of the church. Social teachings of the church. He noticed that yung mga bata ngayon, unlike during our time, na kung may mga rallies sa Recto o sa Ligarda, mga bata yun, mga estudyante yun. Ngayon pag nagrarally, mga farmers na lang yun. Wala na mga bata doon. Wala na mga students. And he said, let's create a group who can push, who can live the social teachings of the church. Not only the social teachings of the church, the teachings of the church. That's why in that year, it was born, it was inaugurated at my alma mater, the University of San Tomas. We have Youth Pinoy. Their president is this little girl. Are you a girl? Little girl? Aileen Esteban. Aileen?
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Aileen Esteban po ng Youth Pinoy. Kanina, nung pinakilala yung mga guests, they were categorized as artista, as video missionary. Kami po sa Youth Pinoy, ang tawag po namin sa mga sarili namin ay OMG. Sino nakakaalam ng OMG? Online Missionaries of God, correct. Youth Pinoy is actually the tangible and concrete answer of the church to heed the call of the Holy Father to evangelize the digital world. Thus, Monsignor Pepe, yan po yung mga pasimuno namin at si Bishop Bailon, pinagsama-sama po lahat ng mga kabataan na malalaking organisasyon dito sa Pilipinas upang magkaroon ng presence sa mga kabataan sa online media. So we are the voice and the face of the youth in online media. We should be the bearer of that truth, and we should be that truth that we are trying to talk about. So kami po sa Youth Pinoy, we were all put together para magkaroon ng totoong mukha. Kasi kahit sino po pwedeng nasa internet, pwede po tayong maglagay ng mga posters dyan. Pero hindi, ang simbahan po hindi po natutulog. Ginamit niya po ang instrumento, ang pinakamalaking puwersa ng lipunan upang maging evangelizers, new evangelizers, dahil tinatawag tayo ng Santo Papa. We are now in the modern world, in the new era of evangelization, and gone are the days na kailangan mong pumunta sa Africa, sa China, para magpa-persecute. Right at your own home, pwede kang maging salita ng Diyos. You could be an online missionary of God, young people. My fellow young people, I would like to introduce to you youthpinoy.com. That would be our portal, our common portal to be witnesses of the new evangelization of the Word of God. We should be the Word of God breathed into life. And that's what Youth Pinoy personifies. We are the concrete human representation of the youth in the internet. So let us, our voice be heard. Dahil malaki pong puwersa, malaki po ngayon, tumataas ang percentage ng effectivity ng new media nowadays, at isa na po yan sa mga ginagamit na medium ng mga politiko, ng mga artista, at ng mga advertisers upang mag-advertise ng mga causes at products nila. So, huwag nating tingnan yan na isang maliit lang na medium para makipag-communicate tayo. So, let us use it very wisely to our advantage. At kami po sa Youth Pinoy, iniimbitahan namin lahat ng mga ministries, ng mga kabataan dito from the different dioceses, from the different organizations to please join us, become online missionaries of God. We have at the back, meron po tayong, you could be volunteers. How could you become a member? We have volunteers. We need writers at that. Yung mga mahilig magsulat ng blog dyan, mahilig magsulat ng reflections, at even yung mga kaparian natin na gumagawa ng mga blogs para sa kanilang homilies, we invite you to send your homilies to us so we could post it on our website. Let us solidify our voices on the internet because you wouldn't know the exponential effect of that when people hears your story or reads your story through the portal. So, sa lahat ng mga kabataan, iniimbitahan namin kayo, maging bahagi kayo nung community namin, the Online Missionaries of God in Youth Pinoy. Kung hindi nyo po na itatanong, yung mga organisasyon like CFC, CFC FFL, IT Youth, at yung mga dioceses natin dyan, yung mga representative ng dioceses natin dyan, may mga Youth Pinoy representatives na po, yung youth directors natin at yung mga youth representatives natin. Makipag-coordinate kayo. Ngayon, kung hindi nyo po alam kung paano kayo lalapit sa amin, all you have to do is just to browse the website. You would know how to contact us there. And also, you could go to any Youth Pinoy representatives later kasi naghahanap po kami ng mga kabataan na makakasama namin sa misyon na ito. Again, gone are the days na kailangan nating pumunta sa kalye para isigaw na ang kabataan ay against the RH Bill, na ang mga kabataan ay sumusuporta sa Katolikong simbahan at lahat tayo ay nabubuhay according to our Christian values. Nandyan po ang internet, right at the comforts of our home. My fellow youth, this is our era of new evangelization. Take advantage of it. And this is the time where we could all be online missionaries of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ellen. Ang dami mo nang gawa sa simbahan. Maraming salamat. Asan kaya kami kung wala kayo? Okay. PR ng simbahan. Correct. The third idea is this. The Catholic, underline Catholic, social media is the way of proclaiming the gospel. What do we mean by E2E? Way of proclaiming the gospel. Malalaman nyo to if I put you to the next idea. The idea is the P2P. The traditional is P2P. The P2P is pulpit to people. Pulpit to people. Ito yung klase ng evangelization na medyo, di ba, hanggang dun lang. Pulpit, hanggang dun. The E2E is the kind, social media is the E2E, is because it is from one evangelizer to the other evangelizer. Once you are a Catholic, you are a baptized Catholic, kaagad yun, automatic, you are an evangelizer. There is no Catholic who is not an evangelizer. Kung nabinyagan ka na, automatic po yun. Don't wait for your parish priest, you're an evangelizer by virtue of your baptism. The best icon that I can get right now for the E2E is Mary and Elizabeth. Mary and Elizabeth. Mary accepted the word, and he was immediately provoked to deliver the word to Elizabeth. And the word that was already in Elizabeth left for joy in Elizabeth. I see social media along that line. And then, the advantage of the E2E over the P2P is that the E2E goes viral. The P2P does not. It goes viral. And it attains what the secular world calls the momentum effect. It becomes a weapon of mass. It can either become, because of this, it can either become a weapon of information or conversion, Otherwise, it can also become a weapon of mass distortion, which is happening today. Ang dami, nakakatakot minsan, titingnan mo, nagtre-trending mass distortion. Grabe, nagte-trending mass distortion. But if we, Catholic social media evangelists, or catechists if you may, will take on, will assume this mission, then kaya natin ito. Okay? The next idea is, the fourth idea that I have tatlo na lang po. Bear with me. The fourth idea is, the Catholic social media should be, or is, ecclesial. Ecclesial. I want to use the word ecclesiality. Ecclesiality. Meron dito mga Dominicans. Andito si Father Mendez. Natatakot ako doon kasi hinubog ako ng mga Dominicans. Kaya, andyan pa yung, ang aking word ng hubog ay trauma. Nagka-trauma ako ng mga Dominicans. Father, meron bang ecclesiality na word in theology? There is? Father Mendez, kindly stand up para makita ka ng lahat. Ayun o. Aming mga professor sa UST. Thank you, Father, for coming over. Ecclesiality is like this. For example, I'll give you a concrete example. There was one organization, Catholic organization, who was applying for ecclesiastical approval sa CBCP. It was rejected. The reason is, wala silang ecclesiality. Bakit? Nung ang CBCP, ang simbahan ay nag-proclaim about the gospel of life, and hence they were against death penalty, that group was for death penalty. That is what I mean. A Catholic social media evangelizer should have that ecclesiality. Kung anong sabihin ng simbahan, inang simbahan, yun din ang ating i-deliver na mensahe. Yun din. Kaya natin yun. We should be under, ang word na ginamit ko, under the shadow of Peter. Sub ombra Petri. We should be faithful to the magisterium. Seryosohin na natin. Andiyan na tayo eh. We should be faithful to the magisterium. Ngayon, kung sinasabi ng simbahan na ayaw namin ang arrest bill, at kayo nag-tweet, gusto ko ang arrest bill, you are not a Catholic. Come on. You are not ecclesial. Doon ka sa doon ka sa grupo ng grupo na Hontiveros. Doon ka. Pwede ka doon. Hindi naman pinipilit pumasok dito eh. Doon ka na lang. Nakaka-confuse ka pa sa amin. Hindi naman pinipilit maging Catholic social media. If you go for the arrest bill, then you are not ecclesial. I'm sorry. Pero yun. The fifth idea is that the Catholic social media is an advocate of social transformation. The Second Plenary Council of the Philippines has been talking about this. They have been talking about the integral evangelization. Actually, gusto kong isipin that the fruits of our evangelization is social concern. Without social concern, walang bunga ang ating evangelization. In fact, I would like to go even further. The fruit of our prayer, in the real sense of the word, more than the prayer of our natural religiosities, the fruit of our prayer should be social concern. If it does not transcend towards social concern, that prayer is like a bubbling thing that St. Matthew in chapter 5 talks about. The prayer of pagans. It should go transcend toward social concern. Ito actually ang problema ng Pilipinas. When they were discussing at the CBC Plenary Assembly about the upcoming 2021 500 years of evangelization, they were asking, nagbago na ba tayo? For 500 years almost. Nagbago na. Except this one. Our kind of Christianity, ang layong-layo sa social concern. Napakalayo. Magaling tayo magprosesyon ng 22 hours from Quirino Grandstand to Quiapo Church, 22 hours. Kaya natin nun. Pero to help our brother who is a victim of injustice, or to care for somebody who is in grave difficulty, wala tayo doon. We can do a visita iglesia the whole night of Holy Thursday. Okay. But social concern, ang layo natin. This should be the fruit. If the core value of Catholicism is love, then malayo tayo sa core value na ito. We are good, cultic, worship, magaling. Ang gagaling natin sa worship. Pag piyesta, andun lahat. Ang galing. Pero pinag-usapan ng social concern, pinag-usapan ng social justice, pinag-usapan yung pagtulong sa kapwa. Ito, every year may calamity tayo. We can count you here, yung nagbigay sa mga calamity victims. We can count by the finger. Sa totoo lamang po. Sa totoo lamang po. Ako nga, wala, hindi eh. Hindi rin. This is the kind of religiosity we have. The content of social media should be that. We should be an advocate for social concern, social transformation. We should pass moral judgment. We should be prophets. According to God's best, we should pass moral judgment, even in the sphere of politics. Number 6, last point. It's almost 10. Social media, the challenge of Catholic social media in the era of new evangelization. Last week, nagpalabas po yung Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines ng bagong pastoral statement. Did you, by chance, heard about it? Okay, good. So, nasa website po natin yan. Doon sa pastoral statement na po na yun, they're trying to lay out the pastoral priorities of the church in the next 9 years, magmulang 2013 hanggang sa 2021. So, if you are following this, then we will expect kung ano magiging trending natin sa Catholic social media. Next year, for example, ano ba next year? Anybody? Huh? 13. Year of what? Okay. 14. Laiko. Laity. And so on and so forth. That should be our challenge. Okay? Another is that if we move along that line, then we are on. We are on. The other idea I have is that under this era of new evangelization, I would like to invite you to be part of what we call sa gospel kasi, I think it was last Friday, it talks about this: be innocent as doves, be smart as serpents. Serpents. Meron kaming grupo, mayroong grupo na tinatawag namin Wolf Pack. Wolf Pack. Itong grupo na to, kasi sa mga mainstream media, pag may nag-post ng isang balita, maraming comments sa baba. How do you call that? May mga comments sa baba. Makaramihan, pag halimbawa, they post about the news about, say, Bishop Jesse Mercado. Ang daming comments nun. Ang daming comments sa baba. Ang ginagawa namin, we activate the Wolf Pack, binabalanse yung mga comments doon. And you see what happens. Ang ganda. Lahat ng mga balita sa mga mainstream media, lahat may comments po yun sa baba. We invite you to do that. That will be a big challenge for social media. Sa Facebook, meron tayong grupo na ito yung kanilang forte. Ito ang ginagawa po nila. Have you opened the group na ang pangalan nila ay 100% Katolikong Pinoy? May mga members dito, kindly raise up your hands. Ayan, ang dami natin, no? Okay, yun. That's the group. Ngayon, we have 140,000 plus na followers ng Facebook account na ito, Katolikong Pinoy. 100% Katolikong Pinoy. I would like to invite you to do that. Please. Kinakailangan po kayo. Kasi nag-testing kami about a year ago, pero nag-post ng isang idea na talagang sinira niyang simbahan, pinasok ng World Pack, right away, 100 kaagad, hindi na bumalik, natakot. Natakot, hindi na nag-comment agad. Siya naman ang binalikan ng World Pack na ito. Can we do that? Please do that. Catholics tayo. Nasasaktan din. Nasasaktan din. Besides, we have to proclaim the gospel in the arena of battle. In our arena of battle. Finally, last, meron po kaming tinatawag na mga news communities. News communities. If you go to cbcpnews.com or cbcpnews.net, it is being fed every day. Kahapon nga po, while we were talking here, akit ng mga balita. These are written by news communities. Right now, 3 po yung aming nagawang news communities. By news communities, these are a group of people who feed the news to us from their own perspective. Ang una namin ginawang news community ay yung news community ng life, ng buhay. Kaya if you open the website, cbcp4life.com, ang mga members po doon ay members ng News Community for Life. All they write about our balita, our stories, our features, straight news on live. And they feed it to us. Ang pangalawang nagawa namin ay yung news community ng mga bata, the youth news community, Youth Pinoy, sila po yan. Kahapon, they were writing news about that. So they feed to us yung balita na yon. Lately, mayroon kaming ginawang pangatlong news community. Ito po yung news community ng mga social action, workers. Yung mga social action workers. Buo na po yan. We have correspondents nationwide. They feed us with news, stories, tungkol sa ginagawa ng social transformation. May mga balita binibigay sa amin. Right away, we upload them at cbcpnews.com. Doon po kinukuha ng Philippine Daily Inquirer. Kung babasahin mo ang Philippine Daily Inquirer ngayon, yung balita po doon about the social media was actually kinuha doon sa cbcpnews.com. Kaya hindi na kami kinakailangan magsalita pa, doon na eh. So, kung pwede, alam ko kayang-kaya nyo eh. If you can write this, ibaton nyo sa amin. Open the website and send it to us. Minsan, nababayaran pa namin yon per item. Minsan. At saka yung minsan, madalas po yun. If you can do that, we are on. Magkakasama-sama po tayo. Maraming salamat po.